What's up guys, it's Sam from Top Training, and today we're gonna make an under 500 calorie tuna melt wrap. Alright, so first step, we're going to use a pretty big non-stick skillet, and we're going to turn the heat on like medium-high, just so this is warming up while we're prepping our other ingredients. Okay, so we're going to be putting like a tuna mix inside this flat out bread wrap. So first step, I got our can of tuna. It's chicken of the sea, chunk light. I get it at Costco. I like the ones where you just pull the tab to open it so you don't have to deal with the can opener. So we'll crack that open, and you want to drain out as much of the fluid as you can. I don't really want all that tuna juice. So got that drained, top to top. And I got it on a food scale just so we can kind of measure out the ingredients. Whole can of tuna, about 143 grams we got on the scale. 143 grams of tuna, which is actually a little bit less than what the can says is in it. Ingredient number 2 for the tuna mix, I'm gonna chop up a little bit of sweet onion. You don't need a lot. This is probably gonna be like 40, 50 grams. And then we want these into really small pieces so they can mix together nice with the tuna, pickles, and mustard sauce. And onions are something that I normally wouldn't even weigh out or worry about tracking. I'm just doing it for this video. So 57 grams of sweet onion. So ingredient number 3 for the tuna mix, we got some pickles. Any kind of pickles is fine. I'm gonna take a few out of here, dice them up, and add them into our bowl. Same thing, we want long strips. We want as small of pieces as possible. And if you don't like pickles, you can skip it. Pickles are extremely low calorie, but just to give you an idea of how much we're putting in, not something I would normally worry about tracking, but there's 30 grams of pickles. According to the jar, 30 grams of pickles is less than 1 gram of carbohydrate, so it's not like we need to worry about that. Fourth ingredient for the tuna mix, got some honey mustard. 1 teaspoon of this is 5 grams. I usually go about 5 times that, so 25 grams. Just drizzle it on there, keeping an eye on the scale. There's almost 25. We're just gonna mix it all up, okay? Mix it all together. This is why you want the pickles and the onions to be small pieces. And you could use honey mustard. I use Bolt House Farms dressings, barbecue sauce, or mayo. Use whatever you want. This is just an example of something I like to use, and we'll show you the nutrition for this one at the end. So for the bread or the wrap, we're gonna use this flat out bread wrap. One of these wraps has 9 grams of protein, 8 grams of dietary fiber, only 100 calories. So this is like a good lower calorie option if you don't want to use 2 slices of bread. So we'll lay this out on a plate, and we're gonna dump our tuna mix on 1/2 of this. And this amount of tuna, this might be a little too much for how big this wrap is. And if that's the case, I will just eat whatever we have left over. I'll just eat it plain. Last step, we're gonna take some shredded cheddar cheese. This is reduced fat, sharp cheddar cheese from Crystal Farms. Serving size is 1 ounce. I usually like to go 1.5 ounces, about 42 grams. So we can kind of weigh that out here. Around 40 grams, 45, something close. Okay, 51, okay, a little over, that's fine. We'll track that in the nutrition facts later. And then we're gonna spread our cheese out on top of the tuna. And if you wanted to make this a lower calorie thing, you could just use less cheese. That would be an easy way to reduce the calories and the fat content on the wrap. Tuna melt wrap, good to go. I'm going to spray the pan with some of this olive oil cooking spray so it doesn't stick, and it'll help the wrap kind of get browned as we cook it here. So spraying the pan all over. And then I always like to start with the cheese side facing down so it melts a little better. So I'm gonna kind of make the flip here. There we go. Pop it on. If you cover it, it'll help the cheese melt a little quicker. So I just checked it. It's already pretty crispy, pretty brown, maybe a little black. That's okay. I'm gonna spray the other side. Olive oil spray. Use a spatula. And we're gonna make the flip. Yeah, a little crispy there. That's all right. And you know, you could use a little bit of butter if you want to. I like the cooking spray, the olive oil spray, because you're only adding a little bit of fat as opposed to a ton of butter, which is going to add a lot of fat. And I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit so it doesn't burn quite as much. Cover back on to help the cheese melt. And we'll give it a couple minutes. All right, so I only gave it like 1.5, 2 minutes on the other side. We're going to pull it off. There's your bottom side, a little crispy, but that's how I like it. You adjust the cooking times to how you like it. So there it is. You got your tuna melt wrap. I'm gonna chop it in half here. It's gonna be really hot, so you're gonna wanna let it sit before you eat it. There it is. Nice.